today we can look at the quarterback room because you're bringing in a high-profile quarterback. And so now it gets to be a fairly crowded quarterback room. And I think it's a unique discussion because I actually think that Florida State really isn't running the risk of losing any of these guys.
Yeah, and they do run practices with as many as 4-5 different quarterbacks anyway. Geno English has been here, it seems like, forever, and he does a good job running scout team and rotating in when they do individual drills. But, I mean, it all comes down to if Jordan Travis, we're going to assume for this exercise that Jordan Travis is sticking around. You said that you feel very, very good about
I feel
that.
very confident that's happening, yeah.
It all comes down to Tate. What does Tate want to do?
Well, and this is why I think that there's very little chance they lose anybody here. To me, Duffy's the bigger candidate to lose. I don't think that Tate Rodemaker wants to go anywhere. I think he's very happy here. I think that Tate gets it. He's a kid that enjoys playing football at Florida State. He understands that Jordan Travis is the better player. He put himself in a position to succeed, finally got that opportunity again, and came through, passed the test in the second half against Louisville. And he'll always have that moment, and I'm really happy for him because he made some big throws in that moment. And I don't think he wants to go start over somewhere else. It's just not the sense that I get about that kid. There are personality types that you can, encounter and say, if that guy doesn't get a chance to play right away, he ain't sitting around. He's going to go. You don't get that sense from Tate Rodemaker. And I'm trying to word it carefully because I don't want it to sound like he's just content never playing. But he is content waiting his turn. And I do think he is. I think he puts himself in a position to be able to play if need be. But he's not sitting there thinking, if I don't beat Jordan Travis out next year, or he's not sitting around thinking, if Jordan Travis announces he's coming back next week, that's it. That's all. I can't wait around any longer. I'm out of here. I just don't get that sense from him at all.
I think it makes the quarterback room better to have Tate as a part of the quarterback room. So I hope he doesn't go anywhere. And I want to preface this by saying that some kids are players, game day guys, and some kids are practicers. Like, for example, Tate did everything but play well in a football game.
And then he finally played well in a
football game. But we all saw it in practice, and everybody says you're nuts or whatever, but it wouldn't behoove us to lie about that.
Doesn't make any sense, yeah.
Some kids don't practice well, and they play well. That was the crux of the Jameis Winston-Jacob Coker quarterback battle years ago, which was, sometimes Jameis at practice doesn't look anything like he did on the field at 2013 or even the better parts of the 14 season. I'd like to see more out of A.J. Duffy in spring. I'd like to see more out of him. And if Glenn comes in, and we're assuming that he's not going to flip back anywhere else towards the end. Let's say that Brock Glenn is here. Let's say he's an early enrollee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you're not the young, bright and shining kid. And we've got another one coming in 24, a high-profile quarterback if he sticks in the 24 class. So, all right, Duffy. It's about that time. It's your turn to take the job away from Tate. That's what the spring should be about. And I'd like to see proof that it's a real battle for who gets the reps behind Jordan Travis in the spring. Because I'll tell you, this season it wasn't close.
No, it wasn't.
Tate was the backup quarterback, and it wasn't close. And I don't know if AJ could have pushed it more, if he had more reps. I don't know, but it didn't seem like there was as much urgency. It was about getting acclimated. So I'd like to see that urgency now out of AJ this upcoming offseason.
Yeah, and let's be fair to AJ Duffy. I mean, because some freshmen come in college football and find ways to get on the field as quarterbacks, we assume that all freshmen are going to have that kind of skill set when they arrive, especially if they're high-profile kids. He was a 4-star quarterback. So, if you're a quarterback that played at IMG Academy, there's a certain gravitas that comes with that, right? And so when he got here, the thought was 4-star kid, IMG Academy, he ought to show us something right now. But he's a freshman.
Right.
He shouldn't show us much of anything. It'd be nice, but it's not normal for a true freshman to come in and wow you at that position.
Correct. The problem that happened with AJ was his first day in, non-shoulder pads. He played really well.
Yeah.
He might have been the best guy out there that day.
Yes.
Which is, that sets
it's a lesson
unfortunate standard.
Yeah.
But here's the best thing I can say about AJ. If I'm going to be that pointed and say, you got to do more this offseason. When he's on the field, it already looks slow for him. Everything about his body language is confident.
Yeah.
In a game, on the field.
I got no problems with A.J. Duffy, man. He was not better than Tate Rodemaker in practice. If you look at the bulk of the work, he wasn't. So it is a very clear order of operations here. It is Jordan Travis way up here. It is then Tate Rodemaker and then AJ Duffy. It's okay for you to say, all right, now you've been here all year.
Right.
You got a lot of reps in practice. You got an opportunity to get acclimated. Let's see an elevated performance from you when we get into spring football. And do you push Rodemaker for the second string position? You're a higher profile quarterback, a more well thought of quarterback. Your expectations are higher based on where you were recruited and what you were thought of in that process.
Well, and here's the thing. This is how Coach Norvell was like some of the experts you might find at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. When you say, I don't think I'm going to like that particular brand. And you go, this person, they know their wine or they know their bourbon. Norvell said before there was any proof that Jordan Travis had come leaps and bounds as a passer. He said that on the record. We're going, really?
He did.
You're not really showing up in practice yet. Then he had the day, and then he had the season that he had. He's also said on the record that AJ Duffy is assimilating more information than any other freshman he's ever dealt with. So that's the good thing.
A really good sign. Yeah, he didn't look overwhelmed.
No. But Tate was the better guy in practice. That needs to be a competition. Now, I want to feel good about, man, we've got multiple options here if we need to miss Jordan for a half.
I agree with you. I just like knowing that we at least uncovered something in the way of information. If you've got to play Tate Rodemaker, it's not the end of the world. He's shown he can play under pressure with something on the line and make a big throw.
Multiple big throws.
And hang in there to deliver them. Now, again, the other opportunities we saw Tate Rodemaker this year when there wasn't anything on the line, he wasn't very good. He didn't really capitalize and piggyback on the performance with another performance that made you go, hey, they got something. No, it made you realize we really need Jordan Travis to stay healthy is what it made you realize. And yeah, I'd like to get to a place where there's a little more certainty of the kind of performance you're going to get from your backup quarterback. And that means that AJ Duffy takes that huge step. You'd be like, oh, okay. Be nice to see that separation. But you asked the question. Now that's the answer. I don't think we're in danger of losing anybody in the transfer portal at quarterback. Not this year.